Good evening, everyone. My name is Angela Dimick, and I'm a project director for a new grant that was awarded last year to the Norfolk Public Schools called Operation Break the Code. We are so excited about this event. This event is being sponsored because of the grant, and Norfolk Public Schools has a strong desire to bring in computer science education and awareness to all the families in Norfolk. It began with a conversation with John about 6 months ago and grew into a conversation with our wonderful Slover Library and the Norfolk Public Library System, and it's become this beautiful partnership where we're now partnering with Richmond Public Libraries and hoping to see Family Code Night spark tonight and spread across the state of Virginia. We're super excited about that. So thank you for the privilege of having you here. I want to introduce a few people who are just special to us and are here to participate tonight and make a special appearance. And then we're going to get started because, kids, you are doing an awesome job waiting for us to start. You're ready to code. How many Minecrafters do we have in the room? Raise your hands. Okay, moms and dads, that's a form of coding, and that is fantastic. We want to show them how to code to learn. That's what we're going to do. We're going to learn to code to learn. Okay? So wonderful. Thank you so much for coming. First of all, we have a special guest that's representing the city manager's office, Stephen Hawk. If I could have him stand for a moment. He is here representing. Thank you, Stephen, for attending. The City Council has their meeting tonight, so they weren't able to attend, but thank you, Stephen, for coming as well. We have also Lynn Clements, who's the executive director for the Slover Library, who's been a partner with me, helping to get this going with her wonderful staff. I cannot tell you how wonderful the staff is here at Slover Library, Norfolk Public Library, and this is just the beginning of many partnerships that we're going to have in how to bring computer science into the library. So, Lynn, you want to come up for a moment?
So I wanted there to be a grandma here working on the computers, so that's why I'm here with my grandson, Brandon. And also I want to invite you to be sure to come to the Slover often. Even if you don't live in the city of Norfolk, you can get a Norfolk Public Library card, so I invite you to come back often. We're happy to be here with you tonight and to partner with the school system, so have fun tonight.
Thank you, Lynn. And so I would like to also introduce my supervisor, who's been a big supporter of all the initiatives that we're bringing in because of the grant, Dr. Karen Bailey, who's the Chief Accountability and Information Officer. It's one of the reasons we have this grant, so thankful for her. And then we're so privileged that Dr. Boone was able to make it back for a really important meeting in Charlottesville. And so Dr. Boone, if I could have Dr. Melinda Boone, who's the superintendent of Norfolk Public Schools, come up and say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I wouldn't have missed this for anything in the world. I am so pleased to be able to greet you tonight at this, our family coding night. We're so appreciative of the Slover Library, of Mr. Pierce and the family coding event, and all who've made this a possibility. Angela mentioned the Department of Defense Education Activity Grant that we received that is helping us to support this, and it's also supporting activities throughout Norfolk Public Schools. I also want to take the opportunity to recognize other members of the district leadership team. Dr. Kip Rogers, the Chief Academic Officer, just walked in. And we have a couple of our principals here. The principals in Norfolk Public Schools, raise your hand. There we go. We have a couple of our principals here this evening. As we focus on college and career readiness in Norfolk Public Schools, we recognize that graduation and careers don't begin in high school. They begin in preschool. And so it was so important for us tonight to be able to co-sponsor this with the Slover Library and to be able to showcase what our kids are learning and to open up the world to other opportunities for what's going on. You will see many of the cameras that are around here, both still cameras and our video cameras, are being operated by our Channel 47 Communications Department, and you may have received a permission slip from Dr. Kalila LeGrand tonight, who's the director of that department. So all hands came on deck to make sure we had a great evening. And Angela, thank you for your work on this, and everyone, so let's code.
You people think of elementary school and they think of, why are we talking about coding? They're only in elementary school, but it's really amazing. The world is changing so rapidly that there's literally an opportunity for your kids to begin building a resume even in middle school, elementary and middle school, by learning some of these skills. They're saying that coding is a language that is global. You don't have to learn how to speak French, Italian, or anything like that. You can actually learn the code and be globally collaborating. And so what we're doing is giving them the skills to be college and career ready even now in elementary school, and just engaging them in a cool way to help them learn and show what they're learning in school. So we're excited about that. I would like to introduce officially John Pierce. He is the director and founder of Family Code Nights from California. He's just been a wonderful partner and has done some real amazing things. In 2015, he got to present at the White House about his Family Code night and got support from the White House to build a kit that's actually going to be available to families and schools to help do their own Family Code night. So we're just so excited to have him, and if you can help me welcome him officially to lead us.
Hey, thanks so much. It is really wonderful to be here tonight doing a Family Code Night with the Norfolk schools, and it's great to be here, and especially to be doing a Family Code Night with all of you kids. The adults, we're happy to see the adults and stuff, but you know what? This is really about the kids. And kids, learning how to code is kind of like a superpower, because you're going to be able to build things that we can't even imagine today. And if you wait until middle school, a lot of kids by middle school, they've sort of decided, I'm into something else. I don't know if I can code or not. You can code. You can absolutely code. In fact, there's only one thing we're trying to really convey to you tonight. Believe that you can do this. And when you learn how to code, you'll be able to do things that none of us can imagine in the future. I should say that, a lot of times kids think that coding is a little mysterious, maybe sort of difficult. It's not that hard. We're going to start tonight. We're going to do an hour of puzzles. They're going to teach you some really important universal coding ideas, and it'll show you that you can really go forward from here, learn computer science more and more, and I think a lot of opportunities will open up for you throughout your life. One other thing we're doing tonight, in addition to encouraging all the Norfolk schools to do Family Code Nights, is we're kicking off a program called Virginia Family Code Nights with some funding from Capital One. Thank you very much, Capital One, and from the Norfolk schools. We're rolling out an invitation to every elementary school in Virginia to host their own Family Code Night, to do the exact program we're doing here tonight with a free event kit that we've put together that has all the materials schools need to put on this very program. So we hope that 1,000 elementary schools in Virginia put on Family Code Nights and engage families. I'm a parent from a school in Mill Valley, California. This whole program came out of our experience helping our kids learn to code in our schools, and then seeing that spread like wildfire through the schools in our area. And as Angie mentioned, we got some recognition from the White House that let us put together this kit and make this freely available to any school in the country. So that's really the big thing we're working on. And now I'm very happy to say that to help us kick off Virginia Family Code Nights, we're live streaming tonight's event from the Slover Library here, the wonderful Slover Library of the Norfolk Library System. We're live streaming this to the Richmond Public Library, and through the miracle of Zoom teleconferencing, we're going to jump over to the Richmond Library now, and we're going to welcome Chris Dovey, the director of Code VA, and the second lady of Virginia. We're very pleased. Lady Northam, I believe, is with us, and I think Scott Firestein. So Chris, you want to take it away here? I hope we have audio from Richmond.
Yes, we do.
Awesome.
Hello? Okay. I'm actually going to hand over the program to the director of the Richmond Library and let him say a few words to introduce our special guest. Go for it.
Good evening. I'm Scott Firestein. I'm the director of Richmond Public Library. It's really a pleasure to be here tonight and to kick this off. We are pleased to be with Chris Dovey and John Pierce and also Slover Library. Thank you for partnering with us to make this happen. It's really a brand new experience, and we're excited to be here with our patrons sharing this knowledge base with y'all. It's really great to see so many families here tonight, and we are honored to have a great proponent of STEM education with us here today. She has spent many years as a science teacher and understands the importance of engaging not only the child, but the whole family in the learning experience. Let's give a big welcome to Miss Pam Northam.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everybody. Hey, Norfolk. It's nice to see you. You all are doing great stuff down there at the Slover. I love going there every chance I can when I'm home. And it's so great to see everybody at Richmond today. No, everybody's getting some snacks, but I know you're anxious to get down to the fun, so we're not going to keep you much longer. We just want to say thank you for coming out. Thank you to our wonderful libraries, the Slover and Richmond Library here. Thank you to Code VA, Chris, and all of our friends that have worked so hard to put on this fantastic event tonight. It's my pleasure to help kick off the Virginia Coding Nights. We're going to have more than one, as was just said, and we're so excited about doing this. We know that computer coding, science, technology, engineering, mathematics is vital to our 21st century digital natives. We want to give them every opportunity we can. As a science teacher, I worked really hard to get especially our young women and our people of color into these careers because they're so underrepresented. And you know what? We need you. We need minds of all kinds. We've got some great challenges ahead, and we know that you're up for that challenge. So we thank you for being here. I also want to say I have a good example in my family. This is my daughter, Aubrey, and she's a young woman who codes. She has a fantastic job making apps and websites. And guess what, guys? She has a pool table and a movie theater underneath where she works. So science and technology jobs are pretty cool, right, Aubrey?
Very cool. Yep.
So I know you guys want to get busy, get ready to do this fun stuff. I just wanted to remind the grown-ups that in 2016, my husband, the lieutenant governor, and the other leaders in Virginia thought this was so important that they made this a core subject in all grades from kindergarten through 12. So you're here tonight. It's really great that we're going to help you parents learn something, right, kids? We're definitely going to help out. So are you ready to have fun? All right. Well, let's help your parents learn something tonight and have a great time. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much for your support and help. And I could not agree more on how vital it is to engage in K-5. This is the next front in the whole CS for All movement. So we will bail out of our Zoom connection to our friends in Richmond. And we will come back here to Norfolk. The Family Code Night that we're doing now is being held at schools all over the country, all over the world. In fact, this picture right here is from Johannesburg, South Africa. We were totally psyched to see that one take place. And it's all about parents and kids engaging together to begin this process of learning to code. As Angela mentioned, we were privileged enough to be invited to the White House last year, and I think there's a real recognition. Parents have a vital role. We read to our kids. It's time we code with our kids. It's the next literacy. So we really believe K-5 is the next front, and parents are the next great untapped resource in this movement. So let's get into it. Let's jump into what we're going to be doing here tonight in Family Code Night. And we're going to start with a pretty cool little movie that was actually the beginning of the CS for All movement. About 3 years ago, some people came together and decided that we needed computer science for everybody. And they started a really interesting movement. And there was a wonderful collection of people behind it. And this movie was where the movement kind of started. So let's take a look at that. And I think you'll like it.
Hi, I'm Leah.
And I'm Tanya.
And we're lucky enough to be studying computer science.
Hi, I'm Tanya.
We think it's terrible that 90% of schools don't teach it.
They definitely didn't offer it at my high school.
Thanks.
So we're trying to make this video to show that anybody can learn. We want to get 10 million students to do the Hour of Code.
Hour of Code.
Hour of Code.
The Hour of Code.
Hour of Code.
Hour of Code.
Hour of Code.
The Hour of Code! How do you get him to get to the sunflower? He needs to do some actions.
I got it.
Hey!
And then we'll run it and see what happens.
Amazing.
There we go.
You just wrote your first program.
I wrote it?
Yeah. This is the code that you just wrote.
Very awesome.
I thought code was FBI hacker symbols and stuff.
A little bit of problem solving, a little bit of logic. It's like instructions.
Programming is a lot easier today.
Don't just play on your phone, program it.
All right.
Awesome.
How does someone go about getting a job?
Maybe take an online class, find a class at a community college. You could get one of the best paying jobs in the world.
I think medicine's moving into the whole computer age.
Technology touches every part of our lives. If you can create technology, you can change the world.
So we're excited that you are participating in today's Hour of Code.
We just did 2 lines of code. 3 lines of code. 4 lines.
7 lines.
5 lines.
Escribir 25 líneas de código.
5 lines.
60 lines of code.
99 lines.
60 lines. 18 lines of code.
75 lines of code.
Doesn't matter how old you are.
Todos lo pueden hacer.
The Hour of Code.
Hour of Code.
Yeah, programming a code. The Hour of Code.
The Hour of Code.
The Hour of Code.
Whether you're a young man or a young woman, whether you live in a city or a rural area.
Everybody in this country should learn how to program a computer.
And I just completed the hour of code.
It's actually really easy to learn.
Girls should learn this too.
Understand that language, that's going to be the future.
Anyone can learn computer science. And you can learn too.
Jack Dorsey, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, all of y'all, I'm learning.
Give it a shot.
Here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give that to the people, spread it across the country. Labels out here, now they can't tell me nothing. We give it to the people, spread it across the country. Here we go.
So this is a movement. They said they were shooting for 10 million people to do an hour of code. So here's a real mind blower. 200 million people all over the world have done an hour of code. This is a movement, and you kids are what it's all about. So we're now doing something a little different with it, though, because the idea of doing it together as families tonight is the difference in the family code night experience, and we hope you're going to really enjoy that. Now, let me go ahead with a couple of other comments about the program tonight. So here's how our code works, our family code night works. We're going to do a series of puzzles. Let me tell you the rules for what we're going to do, and we're going to jump into these puzzles now. So kids, you've been magnificently patient, but we're going to get going real soon. So here are the rules. We're going to do a bunch of puzzles. These puzzles are called self-guided, self-paced puzzles. So when you get done with one puzzle, you'll be carried right to the next puzzle. You can go as fast or as slow as you want, and don't worry, it's not a race. Do whatever you like. Everybody should be working in a pair, a two-person team. Everybody shares one computer. All right, now here's the hardest rule of all. You have to trade jobs after every puzzle. One person's the driver, one person's the navigator. So the driver does the coding and moves the blocks around and solves the puzzle. When that puzzle is over, that person has to take their hands off of the iPad and pass it to the other person. I don't know if this is harder for parents or harder for kids, right? Because parents, they want to lay back and go, oh, I'll let my kid do it. And kids are like, give me that keyboard. No, 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 no. Au contraire. This is family code night, so everybody's got to pass it back and forth. And for you parents, you're going to learn something tonight too. So that's one of the most important rules. A couple other little things. Try and turn the sound on your device. Go to full screen. And if you need help, we've got some code coaches here. Two of our code coaches are back here. I think we have another couple, and I'm a code coach, of course. Okay, those folks. Oh, there we very good. So they'll be walking around and kind of schmoozing with you as you go. If you have questions, you can ask any one of us. Now, the last rule is I'm going to break in every couple of puzzles with what we call tip times. And I'm going to try and teach you some of the most important big ideas that we're going to learn tonight. Now, kids, you want to pay attention to the tip times, because at the end, we're going to have a little contest. And the contest at the end, I'm going to ask for kids that can tell me what some of those big ideas are. So pay attention during tip times. The hardest thing is, during tip times, you all got to take your hands off, look up here for about 1 minute, and I'll show you one of these fun concepts here. Now, the next thing in our in the family code night is your progress card. In just a minute, not quite yet, but in just a minute, our coaches are going to hand everybody one of these cards. And it tells you how to get onto the Wi-Fi network. Our tablets are already on it. Most of them, I think we should be okay. There's a URL you're going to go to. And this is where you keep track of your progress. As you go, fill in each square as you go. And you want to do that because you're going to be able to take this card home with you tonight and keep going on these puzzles after tonight. So once we give you the program card, that's a resource that you're going to be able to use in the future as well. Let's see, so I think that's it. Now there's one more thing that we're going to watch all together, and it's the instructions on how we're going to take on these puzzles tonight. We're going to go to one more short video, and tell you what, I'm going to skip a little bit of this, which is famous people talking about how great coding is. I think we already got that part. Bill Zuckerberg thinks, or Mark Zuckerberg thinks we should learn how to code.
To superpower.
Okay, here we go.
In the next hour, we're going to play a game that will teach you the basic concepts of programming. Usually programming is all in text, but we'll use Blockly, which uses visual blocks that you drag and drop to write programs. Under the hood, you're still creating code. To start off, we're going to build code for a program that will help this angry bird move through a maze to get to the evil pigs that stole its eggs. Blockly is split into 3 main parts. On the left is the bird's maze, where your program will run. The instructions for each level are written below the maze. This middle area is the toolbox, and each of these blocks is a command that the bird can understand. The white space on the right is called the workspace, and this is where we'll build our program. If I drag the move block to our workspace and press run, what happens? The bird moves forward 1 box on the grid. And what if I want the bird to do something after the move forward on 1 box? I can add another block to our program. I'm going to choose the turn right block, and I'll drag it underneath my move block until the yellow arrow appears. And then I'll drop it, and the two blocks will snap together. When I press run again, the bird will perform the commands that are stacked from top to bottom on our workspace. If you ever want to delete a block, just remove it from the stack and drag it to the trash can. After you've hit run, you can always hit the reset button to get the bird back to the start. Now let's get those pigs.
All right, let's go get those pigs. So coaches, hand out the program cards. On the program cards, you'll see instructions on how to get to the first puzzle. What you want to do is go to the start link at the Family Code Night webpage, and that's on your tablet. And when you go to that page, you're going to come to this page right here, and you want to click right here to start the program. Okay? And everybody gets a card. And, oh yeah, one other thing. On your iPad, you'll see two icons that say code. You want to click on the one that says Family Code Night, not the one that goes to code.org. They look the same, but you want to click on the one that says Family Code Night. There should be two icons on there that say code. Okay, we'll get you. If anyone has any problems getting to this start page by clicking that icon on the home page of your tablet, let us know. We'll come help you get on. Oh, by the way, when you click here, you're going to be taken to that movie we just watched. Go ahead and close it. We just watched it. Okay, so when I click here, I'm going to go to the first puzzle. But the puzzle that pops up, just click the close box, because you don't need to watch that movie. We just watched that, okay? The close box is a little X at the upper right of the square. There you go. You're on the page. Okay, click right there. Click right there. Yep, that's right. That's good. Okay, now, oh, wait a minute. That was the wrong link. Hold on. Let's see. It's what? It is like an iPad, isn't it? Okay, let me try and get you to the right start page. No, you know what? We are running into a couple of snags here. Let me.
Are you joining the right network?
Yes,
right?
that's right.
All right.
How what? I'm sorry. You know what? Let me. We've got a couple of. Sorry, I'm not sure how to get that to the. Yeah, oh, here we go. We'll go back here. Okay, click here. Start the program. Okay, there we go. Finally. Oh, now for some reason, that's going to. I don't know why that's happening. I don't know where it's going. Some of them are going to the wrong page link.
Okay. It's going to the right page. Saying turn off orientation.
Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. Okay, here we go. So click here to start.
Looks like we were clicking the wrong thing.
No, that's okay. Now up here we can close that movie we just saw, and now you're off to the races.
Okay.
Very good.
Can you help me to catch the naughty pig? Stack a couple of move forward blocks together and press run to help me get there. Are you ready to go? Are you going to be first? Go ahead. Oh, there we go.
You should be able to do it there.
So then from
iPad controls, yeah. Continue. And then right.
turn, rotate.
Right there.
There we go. Alrighty. Now let's go back to our browser and let's try to reload. Let's see. Where do
go down and they keep moving forward in the same direction.
So when you turn right, you have to also move forward if you want it to go forward, right? Versus just turn the body right.
So I think he can move forward. Put a move forward up there.
Turn right, forward. Turn left. No, that's left.
Then want to do another one.
Nope.
Left.
Put two of them up under there. And then which way he need to go, left or right? Left to get to him. That's left. Yeah.
And then, there, turn again.
Let's see if he get him. Oh! All right, so take one of these and move forward out. Because he hit his face on it. Take that one out. Yeah, move that one to the trash can. Put it in the trash. Okay. And then move that back. Oh, nah, move it back down.
Where's it? Cinque. Cinque is Italian. Oh. Do we need to check him out? No. Repeat 5 times. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right?
Wait, Mom, watch this.
No, you're not supposed to do that.
Hey, we just took over navigating. Hey. So this is do that thing 5 times.
I see. So this is a multiplier of a particular activity. Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Continue. All right. So I get to do this one now?
Yeah.
All right. So 1, 2.
All right, everybody, time for our first tip time. This is the hardest thing. Take your fingers off the keyboard for just a second. Okay, I just wanted to review a couple of the overall rules in case anybody's having problems. If you want to, you connect the blocks by moving them and dragging and connecting. If you want to move more than one block, grab the top block and you'll find you can move 2 at once. If you want to get rid of blocks, grab a couple of them, drag them over in the workspace, let them go, you can get rid of them. And this is the most important one, and you aren't all doing this. Trade the keyboard after every puzzle. Parents, get to work, All right, so those are the first things. And then there's one other thing I want to tell you about our first big idea. We already talked about this one, but what is a program? Now, you might remember I mentioned what this was before, but you got to pay attention to this because this is going to be on the contest. What is a program? A program is a list of instructions that you create to tell a computer what to do. All right? That's what the big idea of a program is. And let me show you something really cool about the puzzles you're working on. We've said that you're building a program when you put these puzzle pieces together. I'm going to throw a few together here, and I'm going to show you exactly why that's true. Let's just say move forward, move forward, move forward. Now, as you know, if I hit run now, that pig is in serious trouble, am I right? But here's the cool part. If I come over here and click on show code, watch what happens. That is the JavaScript that you guys are writing right now. JavaScript is a programming language used by the leading programmers all over the world, and those blocks actually represent lines of JavaScript code. So you are programming, you are writing code. When you connect those blocks together, that's the code you're writing. All right, back to work, everybody. I'll be back soon.
Let me see, because I'm not really sure I'm under. Okay.
Could you check the cards?
So I have to put this one right here, right?
Yeah.
Like
You're
that?
supposed to turn. I think you're supposed to turn.
Well, try to get me to the green intruder using only 3 blocks. Oh, I don't see how to do that.
I do. Try pressing a hint if you're really confused. It's right here. It's right here. It's the light bulb. And then you press yes. Try using a block like this. That's the block you were missing.
Alright,
See?
Oh, I see the problem.
So turn and then.
I didn't realize I was.
Because if you don't do that, then you will end up literally falling into the depth in the very beginning.
How do I get rid of this?
You throw this in here. And now you pick a torn white block from there, and you put that in the very beginning.
Okay, quiet. I'll get to it. You're right, sweetie. I know you're right.
Moving forward, you can write a piece of code that tells you to repeat this action X number of times.
See, now I understand the background for my favorite Candy Crush. When I see this, now I love it. I
I understand it. Okay, now now you're up. Now wait a minute. Yeah, good.
So what I don't understand is, if I were to do this again, would it fail, or would it just move on to the next level? I'm wondering.
No. You want to see what happens if you write it badly?
No, I mean if I put this again, does it just keep going?
No, it'll just fail. Run it and see.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Oh, it's not going to do it.
Because there's one barrier up there that won't let him go. Oh, okay.
Hang on, you gotta turn him. You gotta turn him.
Oh, I didn't notice he was going that way. Dad, it's your turn.
Okay. So turn him. There you go. Drop it. Make sure it's in.
I feel like you're really loud. Dad, it's your turn.
Let's get rid of that other piece of code. There you go. Inside. Excellent. Now run it. Oh, you got it?
Here we go. Cool. Which school you attend?
Sweet. Oh, you could have used only 5 blocks, so it says. You should start.
Now you're on Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh God.
Do you want me to do that?
No, this is mine. Now who am I here?
You're the zombie.
I'm the zombie, and I gotta get that dude.
Yeah.
All right.
No, only get there.
I move. That's 1 block, right?
Yeah. And then you're referring. You can also do the repeat until you get to the sunflower.
So okay. Oh, I should do the repeat first. Yeah.
And do the same thing. So forward, turn left, forward, turn left, forward, turn left. Forward and turn left.
Stop talking to me.
Turn left. No, don't do that. You can also add that inside.
I can add that inside. How do you know this?
Because I've done it. Let's see if this is it.
Then I want to turn right.
She's ahead of the game. Down, so we go turn right. All right, and then move forward. And then move forward.
Yeah.
And let's see what he does.
I was just saying to him,
No,
it moved.
Yeah, he moved. Okay, now we need to move all the way over here.
You gotta go right.
That's right. Now
No,
I understand how it
Yes,
works.
he has to go right.
Well, I am working at the Shopify store for my tutoring. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is great.
Oh, he moved.
Good job.
Oh, so I see. Maybe we should have to turn.
You did it opposite way. That was 13, right?
Is that gonna work?
No.
It's not gonna work? I bet it does. Hit run. Let's see if it works. We're gonna make them dizzy.
Hit them a bunch of times.
Yeah, maybe 5 turns to make 1.
So how's that one different from the pink one?
Oh, did he know?
Oh,
Because
those
it has
can't.
the if in it. And we can't change, get rid of it. We have to forward. And if have to left.
I can't get rid of that one.
We're executing your program. By the way, you did it. You turn up your volume so you can hear the pig squeal. That's part of the reward of all this is. Oh, you can play it if you want, but I'll tell you what, I would just close it because I'll explain this stuff in the front. If you want, you can always go back. These are little videos that explain different things.
No, keep going.
You keep going. You go at your own pace. Go whatever you want.
I'm gonna run into the wall though.
Okay, next step.
Oh.
Well, if
So did it?
Hold on.
It works.
So, okay, so show Daddy how you would have done it.
Here, mark it in as 9.
Okay.
Try again. So instead of doing that, let me move the wiggle. Okay. So to move forwards, put in a repeat 5 times, press the 5. Then
can you do that with
isn't
the?
there, so yeah, you can do it both times. So
What?
turn right, then move out this extra move forward, and then stop it.
All right, everybody, time for the next tip time. Time for the next big idea. So our next one here, now again, some of you may have not gotten to puzzle 6 yet, or some of you may have already gotten there. By the way, when these movies pop up, go ahead and close them.
good at.
You don't need to watch the movies. Now, this next tip is really important. Right now, we've got a puzzle where, as you know, here's our angry bird, and he has to go a bunch of steps forward to get to the pig, right? And one way to think about this is pretend you're the bird, right? So he's going to do 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps. It's going to take 5 move forwards for the bird to get to the pig. So the big idea here is something called a repeat loop. A repeat loop makes you a much more powerful programmer. Let me show you how it works. Instead of pulling out 5 blocks and having to stack up all those blocks over here, there's a new block available at puzzle number 6, the repeat loop. Drag out the repeat loop, and you see here there's a number that lets you set how many times you want that block to repeat. So in this case, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to take the repeat loop, we're going to stick a move forward block inside, and now we hit the run button, and you can imagine if the pig was 1,000,000 blocks in that direction, right? The pig could be in Transylvania, but as long as it's a straight line with a repeat loop, your bird's going to get there. So we go ahead and hit run, and in 3 blocks, we just did the work of 6 blocks, but it might have been the work of 100 blocks. So a repeat loop makes you a much more powerful programmer. And now, as long as we're here, I want to show you one more thing that's pretty cool in these puzzles. This is a really good example of an idea that's called code efficiency. And this is another of the big ideas we'll be talking about a little bit later, but let me show it to you right now. You'll remember that I said it would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks for the bird to get to the pig. Well, these puzzles tell you how many blocks you should be using to solve every puzzle. Right here in the top center of every puzzle, it says 3/3. What that means is, and I'll show you, so far, I'll pull 1 block out, and you'll see it changes to 2. So we're using 2 blocks, and we should be able to solve this puzzle in 3. So the best case, the most efficient code you can write is to make sure you don't use more numbers than the second number of blocks that's shown for the puzzle. So for this puzzle, you only want to use 3 blocks. And thanks to the power of the repeat loop, that's exactly what you can do. So I drag out the repeat loop, I stick it in there, and as we just saw, I can solve that puzzle in just 3 blocks. So let me jump over, and for our big ideas contest, let me show you the next couple of big ideas. So what is a repeat loop? A repeat loop is, sorry about that. A repeat loop is, it repeats any block or blocks that you put inside it. By the way, I should mention, you can put as many blocks as you want inside a repeat loop. So if you wanted your bird to go forward, forward, turn right, and you want him to do those 10 times in a row, just do a repeat loop. Repeat this 10 times. You're doing the work of 30 blocks with 3 blocks. So that's what a repeat loop is. And as long as we're at it, let's do our next big idea. What is code efficiency? Code efficiency is use as few blocks as you can to solve every puzzle. And when you're a coder, you're writing lines of code in your programs to build whatever it is you're building. People who write messy code, it's really long, huge long code. I see a nodding head back here from a kid who apparently has run into inefficient code. Good for you. So sloppy code is long code. You want to write tight code, efficient code. You want to use as few blocks as possible. And that's our third big idea, code efficiency. All right, back at it. We'll see you soon.
Then I'll put that up here, but I think I need to change this for 5. Yeah. So, I gotta take it back. Okay. Got it. 5, and then move forward. Wait, what did I do? Okay.
Wait, you did the wrong one. It's not fun. What I am?
That's it. Can you drag it across? Turn right. That's it. Do it again. Good
job. That's it. Okay, now what do you think he would do now? Would he go forward or left or right? Or would he go to the same way again?
You have 4 blocks. So they giving you
yeah.
they give you an example of what you should be using.
Okay,
A
thank
key.
you so much.
You're
Okay.
welcome, darling.
Thank you.
All right. Go ahead. Okay.
I gotta turn back. We're gonna go left. Yeah, then we'll and then we're gonna go turn right. And move forward. There's a hint. Yeah. Okay. What's it say? Try using the block.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then I want him to turn left. Oops, I have 8. What did I do wrong? So that's the bird, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Do I want him to go 5? Maybe that's what it's telling me.
No, I don't. Just. I think it's just 2.
So let's just do this. Move forward. And then I want him to turn left.
Turn left. Path to left. Is that? And turn left. And
Brian.
Yeah, but still not going to get it. Because I think
Plus 1.
What's one?
This one.
Not done.
You should see.
Oh, you think it's done? Okay, try.
I usually do try by.
No, I'm not ready.
I'll see you.
See, I told you I wasn't ready.
You just need to adjust. You want me to add?
All right, everybody, one more tip here, one more big idea. Sorry to interrupt you, but hey, this time in particular, I'm going to help you with an impossible puzzle. I'm going to help you with what's the trickiest, hardest puzzle here, and I like to help out because this one is really, this is crazy. Anybody struggling with number 9? There we go. Thank you very much. So this is timely support. All right, the perfect timing then. So here's the deal. Now, number 9, I must say the code.org people, when they designed this one, I'm not sure they were, anyway, had both oars quite in the water. But here's the deal. You can't get rid of the gray block. And as you'll remember, our code efficiency numbers are, we have to solve this in 5 blocks. We're already using 2. We only got 3 more blocks. But look at what we have to do. We have to navigate all the way around here to get to the pig. But we only get 3 more blocks. But you'll remember, how many blocks, we can put more than 1 block in a repeat loop. That's the secret to this one. You've got to put more than 1 block inside the repeat loop, okay? And so let's pretend I'm the bird, okay? Somebody help me out here. What's the first block? What's the first thing I'm going to do? Move forward? Move forward. What's the second thing I'm going to do? Move forward. What's the third thing I'm going to do? Turn right. I'm out of blocks, but I have a repeat loop, right? So what if I repeated those 3 blocks 3 times? So check it out. Move forward, turn right. Move forward, turn right. Move forward, turn right. So that's the beauty of this puzzle. You can put multiple blocks inside that repeat loop. So as you look at this one, take a look, think about the blocks you need, put yourself in the position of the bird, and sort of reason out the first couple steps, and then just remember, you can put more than 1 block inside your repeat loop. So it's move forward, turn right. Okay? So go out there and nail that puzzle number 9. Go get them, everybody. And I think we have one more big idea. It's about time for... Oh yeah, this is a really good idea. This is a really good one. There are no mistakes in coding. This is a beautiful thing. A lot of times when you're doing coding, you feel like you made a mistake. And you feel, oh, you might feel, oh, I did bad. No, you didn't do bad. There are mistakes in every coding project anyone ever does. There are no mistakes in coding. It's just you haven't debugged your code yet, that's all. And that's the beautiful thing. When you're doing coding, kids, you're going to run into stuff all the time. Every time you write any code, you're going to run into problems. But when you do, you just got to go back, evaluate your code, and find the problem. So the big idea is, if it doesn't work, it's no problem. Find out why, fix your code. It's called debugging. All right? So in that last puzzle, we ran into all kinds of problems. We figured it out. We debugged our code. And now we got good, tight code that runs well. And we didn't make any mistakes. We just hadn't finished our debugging. So back to it. See you in a minute.
We're on 14. All right, what's all this over here?
Oh, you can't take those.
But I'm gonna move forward, right?
Yeah.
Is that all I'm
If
gonna
path
do?
to the left, to
Is that right?
Move forward, and turn right. Oh, it's gonna get harder now.
How it's harder?
What? Repeat until. Let's see what that one's about.
Just showing up on TV. He was saying to put.
Let's see what that does. He's gonna get the page.
Put 2 blocks.
See, it says read until it's pick.
So.
Ready? Your turn. No more chips for now. You gotta eat. You gotta focus.
Right? No. So what about, what's this one say? Oh, yeah. Okay. There. So if it's path to.
When you get in trouble, why should you start over? Now, look up here. 4.
Okay, 6 blocks.
If there's a path to the left, because see, he's going to move forward. He's going to repeat this till he gets to the flower. So he's going to move forward. But if there's a path to the left, what should he do? Well, if he turns right, he's going to turn into the wall. If there's a path to the left, so he's got to turn. So what do you think? What direction? If there's a path to the left, what do you think? You think he should? Which way do you think he should turn? Left, because if there's a path to the left, he can make that turn, and then he'll keep moving forward. So try that. Try turn left. Here's another cool thing. Oh, that's right. That's perfect. And now you've used 5 blocks, and that's the right number. Give it a shot. Let's see if you got it. Reset. There you go. Now you can see him looking to the left as he goes. He shoots out those little rays. And every time he finds a path to the left, he'll turn left. But he's not going to find one. You got him. Hey, by the way, is your sound turned up? You can hear the pig squealing if you Good job.
Ooh, repeat until pig. Do. Wanna try this one? What should I put in there? Move forward. 5 times, but look, it says it has no number though. What do you think is going to happen? What, it's just going to go forward once? think it'll be 4 times? Yay. Okay. All right.
Turn to the left.
But look, when you go here, if you go here, he's gonna turn to the left and there's nothing there.
Oh, I think I know what you do. So, if pass to the left, do.
You gotta put that in first. You gotta put that in first.
Turn
The
left.
right
Turn
button right
right.
under there.
Move forward.
Okay.
Turn
All right, you
left.
ready to try
Turn
it?
right. Move
Oh,
forward.
we don't have any.
Turn right.
Move
So
forward.
eat something.
Yeah.
After
Okay.
that, turn left so they can do something
But
else.
what?
There you go. Just that one little block will make a big difference.
So I'm gonna go ahead and run it. Okay, he turned and he went forward. That's good. So then we need them to turn again, right? Yeah.
This way.
Right. Here we go. So I run it again. Let's see. So did he go the right way? No. So that's why I like to try it every time. So let's throw this away. Get rid of that guy. Now let's put a left in. Let's see how that works.
I'm running. Left is crazy.
Yeah, we're the right way.
I go forward.
Right, so I would keep doing it like that, and I just run it every time
He
that
hurt
way.
his head.
Oh, he did. All right, so go ahead and go.
Good, thank you.
Now push it, run it, see if it works.
So we're gonna, so you can see it forward.
Hold on, we gotta get him out of the way. You can. Yes, and then if you go back to the start screen, you can actually start on the artist. Which those are tricky. Yeah, the last couple get a little, Oh, the artist, you'll have to do some thinking a little bit. The first couple are.
All right, everybody, time for one more tip, another big idea in coding. This one's one of my favorites. This is really a good one. And some of our puzzle takers, you guys are way down the road. You're doing so well. You've already tackled some of these problems. But I want to talk about a really important idea up here in puzzle number 14. So let's go to puzzle 14. And here's the cool thing. Oh, by the way, there are more dreaded gray blocks in puzzle 14. Remember, you can't get rid of the gray blocks, right? The other thing about this puzzle that's kind of cool is we're introducing a new idea called a conditional. Now, look here, we have 5 blocks. That's our allowable number, and we've used 4 already. We only get to add 1 more block to solve this puzzle. We're going to do this by this wonderful coding idea called a conditional. A conditional means if this is true, do this. Now that sounds kind of complicated, but you guys use conditionals every day. If it's raining, you take an umbrella. If I'm hungry, I eat a sandwich, right? So we use conditionals all the time. Well, you use conditionals in coding too. So in computer science and coding, this puzzle is a perfect example. We're only going to add 1 block to this puzzle, and we're going to make it all the way to the flower. And by the way, one of the other innovations in this puzzle that's great, remember the repeat block that said you repeat something the number of times I say? Now we're using a much smarter and more powerful block, repeat until. Repeat until means the block is smart enough that it knows to repeat until it gets to that goal, until it gets to that sunflower right there. That's a very smart piece of code. But using a conditional makes it even smarter, because now what we're going to say is, if there's a path to the left, then we're going to do this thing. And the only thing we're doing in this puzzle is deciding what that conditional command is going to be. So in this case, our little guy is going to, our zombie, is going to go boom, boom, boom. And if there's a path to the left, what do we want to do? Turn left, right? Now that's a tremendous thing, because we're using the intelligence of the block. So now, if there's a path to the left, we're going to turn left. And you'll notice that the other thing that the repeat until block does for us, it says repeat until, well, the first thing it's going to repeat is move forward. It will move forward for eternity until it gets to that sunflower. So it's going to move forward, and watch when I hit the run block, you'll see every time he moves forward, he sends out a little ray to sense if there's an open path to the left. So watch this guy, you'll see him shoot out a little ray that's saying, is there a path to the left? Is there a path to the left? He asks that question of himself every step he takes. So watch when it runs and you'll see how that goes. So here we go. We're going to run. Brains. He's after brains. He found a path to the left, he turned left. Okay? He's off to the races. He's looking for a path to the left. There is no path to the left, so he keeps moving forward. He got the sunflower. One block. And a hideous monster laugh. Okay, we got it all. All right then. Okay, so that's the big idea. Let's run back to the big ideas again because we don't want to leave any of those out. There are no mistakes in coding. That's a very important big idea. Let's move on to the next one. What is a conditional? A conditional is an if-then statement in your code. Conditionals let your code see and react. So it's very smart block that really has some intelligence to it, that really adds a lot of muscle to your coding. All right, back at it. We'll be back in a few minutes. Good work.
More than what he needs to do. See? Now he's going to go forward.
Yay! Continue.
Yeah. And then what? Okay. All right. Let's see. We're going to move right. Now move forward.
Yes. Move left.
No. First we got to go down twice.
Yeah, and then you gotta move left.
I know the feeling.
Where are you?
Right there.
Oh, hold on. Oh, I don't know why I just took that off. It's supposed to be left. No, I think I ain't used to that.
Kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, when you log into code.org. So what grade are you in? Fourth grade? You should log in and try the fourth grade and see what you think. Because I bet you could do it. But it's really hard because you have to do degrees. Have you created anything yet in code.org where you have to know how to code in degrees and angles?
I did a gumball thing. The maybe water gumball.
Oh, very good. That will be a challenge. That will be a great challenge.
Use an if block to get me there with the fewest number of blocks. Use an if block to get me there with the fewest number of blocks. Can you get him all the way around to the acorn?
That's cool!
Okay, can you count? Let's count how many times he gets to move.
1, 2.
And then what does he have to do? He has to turn, right?
Turn.
Oh, man. I think we're back.
Put the if then inside.
And then put.
So he's going to have to turn left. And then turn left again.
But we already have 5 blocks.
All right, 5 out of 5, right? So he's going to come and turn left. And then he's going to turn left
He's
again.
going to do it until he gets the acorn.
All right, let's see what happens.
All right, he's on the right track. He's going to turn left again. Yeah. There he goes.
No, you got okay. Instead of counting off.
Okay, so we're gonna repeat this to Acorn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna go forward 5 times. We're gonna go forward.
And what it'll do is it'll go 5 steps in one.
That will be right.
All right, everybody, we're ready for our last tip. I gotta say, you guys have been just real stalwarts. You're hanging in there so well. I know we had a lot of adults saying a bunch of stuff in the beginning, but now we're wrapped up and we're coming up to our last big idea here. All right, hands off the keyboards, look up here for 1 minute, and we'll give you your last big idea. So, the last big idea, we talked about conditionals. If it's raining, I take an umbrella. Here's a more complicated conditional. If it's raining, I take an umbrella. Otherwise, I wear a t-shirt. That's called an if-else conditional, okay? If it's raining, I take an umbrella. Otherwise, I wear a t-shirt. I've covered all conditions in one little statement. That's what an if-else block does for you. So in this case, it's pretty tricky because we're going to repeat this until we get all the way to that acorn. Everybody remember, what was that movie with the little guy that won? Thank you, Ice Age, there we go. So our little Ice Age guy needs to make it all the way there. But it's a little bit tricky because he needs a different kind of conditional to figure out how to get there. So in this case, we're going to repeat an if-else statement until we get to that acorn. So when he starts, the first thing is, if there's a path ahead, well, of course, if there's a path ahead, he's going to move forward, right? So here he is right here. If there's a path ahead, we want him to move forward. But now it gets a little tricky because otherwise, what do we want him to do? If there's no path ahead, we want him to turn left so he can keep going. That'll take him up here because he's going to repeat move forward forever until he gets to the acorn. So he'll come here, he'll turn left, he'll move forward until there's a path to the left. Then there's a path to the left when he gets here. He's going to turn left again. So then he's going to come here. Now the beauty of this code, though, is as he does that, he's going to move forward. As long as there's a path forward, he's going to keep moving there. And if there's a path to the right, he'll ignore it. So in this case, the right answer is if there's a path, you're going to move forward. And if there's not a path forward, you're going to turn to the left. So let's take a look at that and see if it works. We may have some debugging. We'll see. So he keeps looking over there to see if there's a path forward. He can keep going forward. As long as there's a path forward, he keeps moving forward. And there we go. All right? So that's a very complicated conditional, an if-else conditional. And again, all of these big ideas are things that are common to every coding language in the world. From JavaScript to Python to Ruby on Rails, all of the programming you'll ever do will use these same ideas. So we're in a 5-minute till we end. And I want to show you one more, the last big idea. And that'll bring us right down here. And it's this one right here about what an if-else statement is. I think everybody just learned that one. So we're going to wrap up probably in about 2 or 3 minutes with a little contest, and then we'll be done. So wrap up the puzzle you're on, and then we'll do one more thing before we leave tonight. So I'll be right back in just a minute.
Now we're here facing this way. You would turn left.
Turn 12.
Good. So, yeah, so if now turn left.
Now what do we want to do?
Otherwise,
Right?
60. And then 1, 2, left. And move it again. So that one is to repeat until you get to the frog.
The pig.
Pig. Good job.
Good? We are?
That was amazing. Good job. All right, mark it off. That was number 3. You're pretty good at these. All right, we're going to finish up all the rest and we'll do them later, okay? Because we're going to... Here he is. He's ready
Great
for us.
job. I've seen so much good coding out there. Congratulations to everybody. High five all around. Nice job, everybody. Good job. Good job. All right, now I said we're going to have a little contest at the end, and that is exactly what we're going to do. So our big ideas contest is pretty straightforward. We learned all our big ideas tonight. And so the trick now is I'm going to ask if anybody can tell us what the big ideas are. So first of all, do we have any first graders or kindergartners in the room? Any first graders? Okay. Do you want to try and answer our first question? Okay, look. All right, so here we go. So the first question is, do you remember this one? First of all, what's your name? Nathaniel? Good to see you. Have you had fun tonight, Nathaniel?
Yes.
Yeah? Good. All right, so here's your question. Right up there on the screen. What is a program? Do you remember what that one was? Okay.
It's this.
That's right. It's this. That's exactly right. You know what? That's a good answer. We're going with that one. That's this. All right. Well done. A program is a list of instructions that we give to a computer. And Nathaniel, and is that your brother, Nathaniel? Oh, no? Okay. Well, Nathaniel, we are going to give you, for your sterling effort at answering that question, a Rockin' Cool Virginia's for Computer Science swag bag. Huh? There you go, buddy. All right. Okay, so do we have like maybe a first or second grader somewhere? Okay, good. All right, so let's go to our second big idea. And you might remember our second big idea. Whoops, that was our 6th big idea. Hold on. 5, 4, which? I seem to be going backwards here. Sorry. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. All right. What is a repeat loop? Do you remember this one? Oh, I'm sorry. What's your name and what school are you from?
Brandon.
Brandon. Excellent name.
Stonebridge.
Stonebridge. Okay, good. And you're in the first grade?
I'm second.
Second grade. Okay, very good. Now, do you remember this one about a repeat loop?
So it can repeat the thing and it repeats it until you get to your goal, but that's this thing, but it repeats it over and over again.
That's exactly right. And also, when you said until you get to your goal, that's an even better repeat loop. That's a repeat until loop. So that was very good. All right. A good swag bag for Brandon. All right, cool. Okay, so maybe a third grader someplace. We got a third grader somewhere. All right, we got a third grader over here. All right, let's see if we can get to our next big idea. I keep going backwards on this thing. All right, now, this is harder. First, what's your name, honey?
Drew.
What's your name?
Drew.
Okay, and do you remember what's code efficiency? Do you remember this one? This one's a little tricky.
Left steps.
What's that?
Left steps.
Less steps. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Less steps, that's exactly right. Code efficiency, through the miracle of push buttons, using as few blocks as possible to solve your puzzle. And we have a very nice little Virginia's for Computer Science swag bag for you right there. And we're going to be giving away 1 or 2 other things before this is over. All right. Good job, honey. All right, so now, oh yeah. All right, we have a 5th grader anywhere? Where's the 5th grader? And actually, you're a 4th grader, and you have been rocking it all night long. I know for a fact. All right, what's your name, honey?
Addison.
Addison. All right, Addison. Now, this one's hard. Why are there no mistakes in coding?
There are no mistakes in coding because a mistake can actually, because coding is, because actually when you do coding, you have nothing to work off of, nothing there. You just have to do what you want. If it's a mistake, it's only a mistake to you.
You know, that's a pretty good answer, and you can build anything you want. And now, that's pretty good. And you know, the big thing, there's your little swag bag with some really nice things in it. Well, you'll see in just a minute. We're going to give you another little thing, too, before too long. Let's go over again why there's no mistakes in coding. Come on, come on, come on. If your code doesn't work, it's because you haven't debugged it yet. Sorry, I went one ahead. But that's the answer on that one. There are no mistakes in coding because of the wonder of bug fixing. And I think my little remote here could use a bug fix, too. All right, there we go. If your code doesn't work, no problem. Find out why and fix it. Debug your code. All right, we got two more. We got two more swag bags here. A conditional, maybe a sixth grader somewhere. Go ahead. Let's come over here. That's all right. We'll bend the rules for you. What's your name, honey?
Soleil.
What is it?
Soleil.
Soleil, very nice. And so what is a conditional, Soleil?
It's a if-then statement.
We have a winner. We have a winner. That's exactly right. A conditional, an if-then statement in your code. And conditionals make your code super smart. And so you get one of these lovely Virginia's for Computer Science Lovers swag bags. Very good. Nice going, honey. All right. And I think we have one more big idea. Oh, yeah. The dreaded if-else statement. All right. This one's pretty hard. Who's ready for a hard one? You want to give it a shot? Yeah. All right. Go ahead. Now, what's your name, buddy?
Lofton.
Okay. And do you remember what an if-else statement is?
Yeah. So like if it's for the week, if it's like a school day, you must go to school. If else, just celebrate.
That is a perfect answer. I got to say, you usually get coding answers to an if-else question, but you're absolutely right. If it's a school day, go to school, and if not, you stay home and play. All right, let's have a round of applause for our contest winners. All right. Outrageous. All right, so, you know, I talked a lot at the beginning about how this is all about computer science for all. That's what this movement is about. So I want to say one real important thing here. Everybody gets a swag bag, all right? So we have really nice little swag bags for everybody, and we also have really nice certificates of completion. Everybody gets a really beautiful certificate tonight for when you go home. And I got to say, we're just proud of everybody here. You just did a great job, and give yourselves a round of applause here, everybody. Good job. Good job. I want to wrap up with just a couple more short things to pass along. Whoa, all right, let me go back just a bit. One of the really important things about Family Code Night, this isn't an event, this is a catalyst, right? So we want you to go from tonight and go on from tonight to keep doing these activities and learn more and more about computer science. Let me tell you the first really simple way that you can do that. However far you got in the puzzles tonight, take your program card with you. Remember, you've kept track of how far you've gotten. And right here at this URL, familycodenight.org/start, you can go right back to that start page and you can pick up where you left off. Okay? So one thing you can do to code on at home and keep going after tonight, take home your program card, go back to that start page. You can keep going on these puzzles. But wait, there's more, as they say. We've got a few other things for you tonight. We think it's really important. It's a wonderful time to be a kid learning about computer science. There are tons of free online resources that will teach you all kinds of great stuff and really fun games to play. We've got this Code On at Home flyer. I believe it's in your swag bag. And it tells you how to continue tonight, how to do a bunch of other hours of code, how to go to Scratch and really build some interesting programs there, a bunch of different ideas that we really recommend for everybody here. So that's another thing that everybody can do and that we really recommend. If you want to also, if you go back to our start page, low on the start page there's a Family Fun Stuff link, and that will take you to all of the flyers that we have. So our mission at Family Code Night, we're trying to turn family engagement into a new force for K-5 CS education. Okay? We're working right now on a PTA action kit so that parents can work with principals at schools to bring clubs and all kinds of things to your schools. So we'll be sending that kit out to everybody, to all the schools. If you're involved with the PTA, come to our website and find the kit. But these flyers are things everybody can have right now. A couple ones I want to point out. Code On Home flyer, the big ideas. All 6 of the big ideas that we learned tonight are right here on the big ideas flyer. That should be in your bag. If not, you can grab it here at our website. This is called Affordable Internet, this flyer. There are a bunch of ways that lower income families can get subsidized broadband service at home. And really, to code on at home, you want to have broadband at home. So these are subsidized low-income or even moderate-income broadband services that you can get at home. Code On Offline is full of ideas for learning computer science concepts without even having a computer. These are instructions for all the puzzles in Spanish. If you've got a friend or if you speak Spanish and you'd rather do it in Spanish, here are the instructions for all the puzzles. And then finally, Code On at School is a flyer with some resources for your school to find curriculum to bring coding classes to your school. I'll just say maybe one more thing. Everything we're doing here tonight, the whole Family Code Night concept, is all designed for you to take this back to your own school. FamilyCodeNight.org, we are all about empowering you to do this program that we did tonight at your school. If you go to our website, you can download our event kit for free. It's right at FamilyCodeNight.org. It's an 11 meg zip file. You just download it. There's an organizer's guide, a presenter's guide, and a resources folder, and you're off to the races. Every school here can do this program. And here's another cool thing. All you hotshots here tonight who were so good at your coding puzzles, you can be code coaches back at your own school at your school's Family Code Night. So we really urge you to get involved with us. We'll give you all our resources for free. We're here to support you in making family engagement a real force in K-5 CS education. So we really urge you to do that. Talk to your principal, download the code kit, the event kit, be a code coach. And then there's one other big thing that you might want to get involved in. If you talk your school into doing a Family Code Night, invite people from the area schools to come observe. We've got a bunch of observers around the room tonight, and I hope that they've sort of caught the bug and you'll want to go back and do Family Code Nights at your school. You can have the same effect in your area. So when you do a Family Code Night in your district, invite schools from your area to send observers, and you can start the momentum going. Before long, we're going to have a map of Virginia, and we're going to have every elementary school on that map. And the schools that do Family Code Nights and have elementary school programs going, they're going to light up like a Christmas tree on that map. Make your school one of those schools that we light up on the map. So that's our mission. That's what we're here for. And we really appreciate being able to be here with you tonight. So last but not least, Code On. Thank you so much for coming. And that's our program. And we have the swag bags and all kinds of great stuff. And again, thanks, everybody. Do you want to say anything?
I wanted to thank the Slover Foundation for the refreshments this evening. We have a nonprofit that's associated with our lovely library, so we want to thank them for the refreshments.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to the Slover Foundation. And also, Angela DeMick, you guys have a jewel of a resource here.
You.
Oh man, yeah, all undue modesty here. So anyway, she's done a wonderful job. So thank you to everybody. Thanks to Slover. Thanks for coming. Happy Family Code Night. Good night, everybody.